Well, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Terror Tuesday video where we talk about all things horror. Today we're focusing on Halloween Horror Nights 2025. It's the best time of the year, speculation season. If you don't know, speculation season is when everyone in the haunt community begins to speculate about what will be represented at HHN this year. Speculations vary from representations for mazes, scare zones, merchandise, and the terror tram for us out here in Hollywood. For today's video, let's begin with some of the mazes. Halloween Horror Nights has been able to get some of the biggest intellectual properties in their park, which has truly made it one of the most renowned events known to man. Okay, that might be an exaggeration, but the IPs are sometimes hard to believe. If you would have told me 5 years ago that we would have mazes based off of The Last of Us and the hit music artist The Weeknd, I would have said you're talking out of your... But because of the range of IPs we've had, my 3 speculations will be a mix of very plausible properties. Now, a forewarning, these aren't confirmed mazes for HHN. But if they end up happening, well, HHN, our email and socials are in the links in the description down below. The first IP is something that's been floating around haunt circles like a ghost since Terrifier first slashed onto the scene in 2016. That's right, Damien Leone's Terrifier series. This trilogy has carved out its own twisted niche in the horror world, with many already dubbing Art the Clown as a bona fide horror icon. And honestly, I think he's earned it. The Terrifier films aren't for the faint of heart. They're gory, grotesque, and pure eye candy for prosthetic and makeup fanatics. You know it's hardcore when even seasoned horror fans are gagging in theaters. So why do I think Terrifier might make its way to HHN 2025? Well, aside from the rumors swirling in the haunt community, there's this juicy tidbit. So back in 2023, Damien Leone was interviewed by news article Screen Rant, and he told them that he'd love to expand the franchise into different formats, including haunted house experiences. He even hinted that talks have already happened. Now, of course, talks could mean anything. It could be the simplest thing as maybe just an email exchange or an in-person meeting. Doesn't mean Damien Leone has met with both Hollywood and Orlando. It could also just mean they've met with one of the locations. But hopefully, it means HHN is cooking up something sinister. Now, I hear the skeptics out there already.
Terrifier's too gory. It's too intense for HHN.
And to that I have to say,
get a load of this guy.
Halloween Horror Nights has had some very gory years before. We've had IPs like Saw and Titans of Terror that didn't exactly shy away from the blood and guts. The most recent maze, Texas Chainsaw Legacy of Leatherface, also did not shy away from the blood and guts, nor those smells. Gosh, I'm reminiscing on those smells in that maze, and you know, I hope like we could go without them because, wow, that was a lot. Sure, Terrifier might stir up some controversy, but let's be real, that's part of the fun. We want Horror Nights to push the boundaries. We want them to make people coming out of the mazes terrified. Get it? Terrified? All right. Plus, imagine dragging your friends through a maze filled with Art the Clown and brutal scares. In my opinion, that's prime backpack hider material. So on the likelihood scale of seeing Terrifier at HHN 2025, I'd say this type of maze is very much high up there. And of course, let me know what you guys think of Terrifier coming to Halloween Horror Nights 2025 in the comment section down below. Now for our next speculation, you really gotta stick with me and think about it. Entering 2025, we are rounding the corner of the 10-year anniversary of an iconic Christmas horror film. A film to this day I think has been one of HHN's best IPs in the past. The film I'm talking about is Krampus. Krampus was such a phenomenal maze that we had in Hollywood back in 2016 that really symbolized how holidays can truly be scary no matter what they are. The tradition of Krampus already is something that sounds like a Halloween celebration in December. And I believe that this film made the celebration even more known for Americans. At least it did for me. But Krampus at HHN, in my opinion, is still one of the best mazes in recent HHN history, even though we saw it 9 years ago. So where am I going with this? Well, famous speculation map creators HN Nightmares dropped a preview map for us on Christmas filled with Christmas symbolisms. So already there might not be much since each symbol has something to do with Christmas. However, now this is where you gotta stay with me. In the T-pad location, there's a symbol of a Christmas tree and Santa hiding behind it, holding a bag of popcorn. I believe that that means it's a Christmas movie or a movie that came out around Christmas. Now, Krampus came out on December 4th, 2015. And lastly, the location of the maze plays a factor to my speculation. T-pad is a maze location that we have started using in Hollywood back in 2022 with the return of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The next year we had the return of Holidays in Hell. Are you catching my drift? And then in 2024 we had Texas Chainsaw: The Legacy of Leatherface. Yes, that was more of an original maze. However, it was also a reuse of an IP once again. So I think this is a location that over time is going to be the reuse mazes and IPs location. I'm not against it if Halloween Horror Nights brings its strong IPs and fan favorite mazes back. Every year we have new HHN goers, so if you're able to bring back a maze from 10 years ago, I think it would do really well. So due to location, the speculation map symbol, and the 10-year anniversary of the Krampus film, I think that this is an HHN 2025 maze. I'm not as confident with this IP as Terrifier, but it's still something that I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it once again. Now, this last speculation isn't very far-fetched. I guess you could say it's a safe guess, but it's something that is quite realistic, and frankly, as HHN fans, we just got to accept as almost an annual thing. Anyways, what I'm talking about is the horrors of Blumhouse. Horrors of Blumhouse. What would this be? Chapter 3? We got one back in 2017, and then it had chapter 2 in 2018, and then in 2022 we had Black Phone and the Freaky collab. But was that considered a Horrors of Blumhouse chapter? And then in 2024 we had the Blumhouse Terror Tram. Was that also a chapter? So would this be chapter 5? You know what? I'm just gonna call it the Blumhouse House Maze. So other than us getting Blumhouse properties all the time for HHN, why do I think HHN 2025 would be no different? Well, Blumhouse is dropping so many movies in 2025. We've got Wolfman, Megan 2.0, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Black Phone 2, another Purge. I'm just kidding. But you believed me for a second, another Purge. I know you did, because there's so many of them. But with all these sequels, I would think that there might be some good advertising available. They could totally do 3 sections with Wolfman, Megan, and Black Phone, all to be filled with scenes from the new movies. Or have the Megan portion just be from the original film, since we've never had a Megan maze before. But what I'm saying is that it's easier to use these properties and pull in a lot of Blumhouse fans. Of course, Five Nights at Freddy's would be the most ideal maze for profits and maze experience, but I think that ship sailed. A photo op and a look at the costumes might be the best thing we will ever get for Five Nights at Freddy's. But of course, I hope that I'm wrong. Speculation wise, that is all that I've got for now. And of course, when more information drops for Halloween Horror Nights 2025, speculation maps getting updated, or construction begins, I will keep you guys updated. If you want to be featured in the next Terror Tuesday like our friend here, make sure to comment with your own thoughts, questions, and concerns for Haunt Season 2025, and you might just be featured. With all that being said, my name is Mr. E, and I'll see you guys on the next extraordinary adventure.